Welcome to the Reloading Podcast here on the Firearms Radio Network, presented by Patriot Patch Company and forpatriots.com. From Dog Nation? No Georgia. No Georgia. Georgia bad. No.
Georgia not bad. People bad.
No. University of Georgia bad. At least their football program. Go away. So, anyway. Jim, what you been up to? I ain't seen you in a bit.
You're right. I haven't been on the air and haven't been doing anything either, at least openly. I have been, working on a little thing to help me with trimming, cutting back the brush at the gun club. Finally got it working. But that's a personal thing there.
Yeah, but you're working at the gun club, so.
Yeah, and next week is a gun club meeting, and there's going to be a steak dinner at the San Lee Gun Club, and for members and guests and all that sort of thing. And well, it's going to be. I'm probably going to miss next week's show.
Yep.
Not because I don't want to see Nick's face, but that's just the way it's going to be. How about you, Nick? You done anything in Guns Reloading? I know you spent a bunch of money lately.
Not a little bit, not a ton of money.
A little bit
more money is gonna be coming out of the pocket soon. But went to an auction on Sunday, picked up some stuff. Meant to do the brass tumble with the Southern Shine Media. Just got busy Saturday as well, and so that's been pushed back at least a week. Other than that, been answering a lot of questions on one of my Discord groups with Milsurps, talking really guys asked me a ton of Milsurp reloading questions and stuff like that, and so that's been about it.
Oh, speaking of which, the guy from Reloading Studio, Serge, he's been dogging you guys up real big. About your 303 stuff and stuff like that, the infield stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He knows you and your dad pretty well. You guys must spend a lot of time together because he's into Milsurp too.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's right now. It's kind of hard with Dad being 5 hours away, but hopefully within a couple of years he's moved over here, and so
welcome to the land of freedom.
Exactly.
How about you, Ms. Raylene? Have you done anything in Guns Reloading lately, or hunting, or anything of that nature? Oh boy!
I'm actually leaving on Friday.
Nope, you faded up.
Yeah,
you froze for a second.
Yeah, I'm leaving on Friday to go to Lake Isabella for a deer hunt. So.
Ooh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
No, my facepalm was for Bench Addict's comment. Mike, why aren't you at the Rimfire bench rest shoot right now? So. Yeah. So the backstory on that is a couple weeks ago, Bench Addict and Ken and I were all out at Waterloo shooting, and one of the board members was out there, and we were all bull crapping, and he started talking about the 22 bench rest league they've got. They shoot, well, it's not really a true bench rest because they shoot at, 50, 75, and 100 yards. So Ken and Bench Addict were talking about joining it, and they're like, well, why don't you do it as well? I said, it's on Tuesday nights. I kind of got something going on Tuesday nights. And they both took a second, and they're like, oh yeah. So now they're good. Now they're doing this crap. So that's okay. I'll get them back tomorrow when we're actually at the range shooting. So, but
Shrenda, you got a message on the screen for yourself, lady. You're on the wrong side of the screen.
I know she is. The heck.
You got a friend over here waiting on you.
She invites Raylene on, and then she leaves her hanging like that. I tell you. Anyway.
She's fine.
Yeah, we just like giving her crap because she'll give it back. So
she does. She's really
she gives it back in spades.
Oh, she does. Yeah. So why don't we talk about now? What's the correct pronunciation? Is it Ditale or Ditale?
Yep,
or...
you pronounce it correctly. Yeah, Ditale.
Okay, Cool. So tell us about Ditale Outdoors.
What would you like to know about Ditale Outdoors?
Well, let's start with how did it come about?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what we are before I talk about how it came
Yeah.
about. So we're a women-owned and operated hunting apparel company, outdoor hunting apparel company for women. We're based in Dallas, Texas. How we came about was it was basically out of the start of like my own need to find actual apparel that was going to work and function in the outdoors for myself. So I had a big hunt coming up. I was waiting for this tag for quite some time and finally drew it and couldn't find anything, no matter where I went, that actually fit well, was going to function, could get beat up without, having any damage to it. It wasn't going to be one of those wear it once and throw away things. I was looking for pieces to invest in. So I couldn't find anything that season. I kind of hodgepodge things together, like from my dad's closet, from a big box store to whatever I had laying around, basically. But I had this thought of, if I was having this problem, my community of women hunters had to be having this problem too. So I went out and just started exploring and speaking to members of our community, and found out that, out of the 100 and something women that I talked to, that we all had the same pain points and problems when it came to apparel, and basically built a team from there. And we set out to make the best hunting apparel on the market.
So how long have you been in business?
We started June 2020, so 3 years now, a little over 3 years.
Awesome. I was just looking at the website.
Yeah.
I like the looks of the website, so that's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
And then I see you've got listings of where you're going to be. So that's cool. So if people want to come out and...
Yeah, so we do expos and trade shows, and all kinds of fun places that we go, pop-up shops, you name it. So there's actually a show list on our website. We don't have much left this year. I'm going to be at the San Bernardino County Rodeo in San Bernardino, California here in about a few weeks. We're heading out to the EMS show. And I believe that is in the South Alabama area. And then we have like a wilderness show that's in November. So like we're pretty much wrapping up the end of our season, which takes me into the end of my hunting season, which is great. And I get a few weeks off, and then we start all over again in January at SHOT Show and move on out. So
Awesome. So how do you come up with the names for the products?
The names? They're actually named after members of our family, believe it or not. Yeah. So the Sophia Adventure Pant, it's actually named after our chairman's daughter. The Becca is named after my good friend, Rebecca Warner. She's actually a cancer survivor. So we named it the jacket Becca. We have the Eve Performance Top, and that is named after my co-founder, one of my co-founders, Audrey, her daughter. So, yeah.
Okay. You kind of answered most of my questions in the first spiel. So,
yeah, the name Ditale itself also originated from my grandmother. So that's Ditale is her maiden name, and that's where I got the name for the company as well. It means thimble, like a sewing thimble in Italian. So I'm second generation here in the States. My family is Sicilian, so Italian immigrants. So I'm Italian American and Native American. And awesome. My great grandmother had like an incredible story coming over here, but just she was left alone by herself with the kids. And we had an olive farm over in Sicily. So she had to basically run and operate that while my grandfather came over here and established a new life. And then she went on a boat with all the kids for like 6 weeks and came over, and then they started their new life in America. But her story extends more from that. Like, she was an orphan and lived in an orphanage. And just a lot of the things she overcame, really, as not just a child, but as an adult, are very fascinating and something I'm very proud, to be a part of, being her great granddaughter. So I thought, like, she's so strong, and I'm supporting women in our community, and the fact that it meant thimble and we're going to be making clothes, it just made sense.
Yeah, that's an awesome story, and awesome not motivation, but inspiration. So that you're able to get that, and the history of your family, that you're able to draw from that.
Yeah.
Daniel Anderson wants to know, what in your background enabled you to be an entrepreneur?
I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So like when my great grandfather came over here, he started his own construction company. Then my grandfather, being his son, he was a cabinetry worker, and he had his own company as well. My father worked with him for a little while. So it kind of had it in my blood, honestly. But to jump into apparel, I actually have a retail and apparel background. So I have a bachelor's in fashion marketing and management. And I am on the legal side of things. So I did go to law school, but I am highly involved in the processes that we do on the business side of the retail industry. So I kind of had a little bit of an idea on like where to start.
Right.
But the rest that I needed a team for. And so our chairman, Justin Radica, that sits on our board, he actually helped me with finding the right teammates and putting the right people in those puzzle pieces to actually make this happen. Because I can't sew, I don't know manufacturers, I don't. Yeah, so it was finding the right people with the complementary skill sets to myself, and then obviously to each other, so that way we can work together properly. But together, the three of us as founders, we make that engine work pretty well.
Okay. What drives new products? Is it something that one of you customers?
Yeah. So we do something that's called customer discovery. So we actually, like I said, get out there and we're in the community. So we know our customer like she's our best friend. I can tell you where she shops, what she needs, what she wants, how many kids she has, her dogs. So it goes beyond market research. So we have the marketing research, but then we also have more than just that market research. We actually have a personal connection with her, and we know her really well. And she's the one that actually tells us what she wants and needs. And that's what drives the product roadmap.
Okay.
Yeah. All the way down to the camo and the colors. So all the way down to the camo pattern we picked, to the solids that are coming out this fall. All of that was even, we're testing a new camo as well this year. All of that was customer driven. So those aren't decisions that we make on a personal level of business and look at the market and say, oh, well, it had, X amount of the market share is True Timber. So let's go get a True Timber license. Like that's not what we did. We listened to our community. We watched where they hunted. We went really in depth, and that is how I make those decisions. It's how we started with pants. We started with pants because it was the one thing that she needed the most of, that it was not working, couldn't fit her properly. So it was like set out to make the perfect pair of pants and then build from there. So it's her. She drives it. We just listen. So we are the company that actually listens. Yeah.
So that kind of sets you apart from some of the other
Yeah.
quote,
Yeah. We don't take a
women's
men's line
clothing.
and shrink it down and try to make it work. We actually
Yeah.
start from the basement up, and that's how we do it.
Now, like say for different sizes, because
Mhm.
I see you have a size selection. Is
Yeah.
each individual size then kind of custom designed to account for the change in the size? You know, like obviously, excuse me, obviously it's going to be a different case of, you know, your medium lady
Uh-huh.
isn't necessarily going to have, it's not like you can just add 2 inches of fabric and get, you know, to the next, you know,
Yeah.
whatever size. It's, you know, going to fit different and stuff. Is that kind of how
We're,
you go?
we're very specific with size. So we actually have 32 SKUs when it comes to sizing. And that is due to us having a curvy fit as well. So we know that we're built, different, tall, short, different body sizes, different body types. Like I'm very short. I'm barely 5'4". I'm like a size 10, 12, and I'm hourglass. My medium curvy pants aren't going to fit, my girlfriend who's 6 foot something and, tall and thin. So we needed to figure out a happy medium for different heights and different sizes. Like, how are we going to solve for that? And we also knew that there was this mid-sized girl that was having the biggest problem trying to find something. So that's where we came up with the curvy option. It's the same size in the waist, but you get an extra 2 inches throughout the hip and leg area, like the bum area, like the bottom there. And that actually accommodates for that half size girl. And if you could, get a curvy and size down if you wanted to. It just depends on how you want that fit. And then we have hem adjusters as well inside the pants to accommodate different heights or different boot heights, depending on how you want to do that. So we can take you up from 6 foot plus, down to 4'11", basically.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
My wife doesn't hunt, but I have a couple of female friends that do. And so I work at Cabela's, and they have the She Outdoors line.
Yeah.
And every single woman that I've had come into the store and try that stuff on, they're like, it's garbage. And so that's kind of what, you know, brought me
Mm-hmm.
to ask a couple of the questions. Is they
Yeah.
literally just have, okay, small, medium, large, extra large, yada yada, and this is it. So and so that's awesome. I'm looking,
Yeah.
and that is amazing that you have so many different options
Yeah, we go
just
from
in.
extra, extra small to 3X and a regular and a curvy. So that's why there's so many SKUs. But we also
Yeah,
have that magic 4-way stretch. Like our material is beyond, and that's really what like fits you. And it really does feel like a second set of skin, because if you're stooping and bending and all, it's going to just move with you. It doesn't move. It's a nice, like a little bit above mid rise pant. I'm going to say more. I don't want to say high rise because it's not like that high. It doesn't go all the way up to your boobs, but definitely hits you at the belly button. And we have a gap proof back as well. So you could bend over, your goods don't fall out. No elements are going to get down there. That was also a huge complaint that ladies would get. Like, I've got this big, like what they call the butt gap in their pants. And like either their tush is coming out as they're bending over and trying to like grab their rifle or their bow. Or it's raining or dew. It's just like sliding down in the back. And so you don't have that, with the Sophia. It doesn't do that. A lot of thought, a lot of work went into, making those pants. And we talked to over 100 women before we even remotely started sketching it out. So she didn't come to life until I think we had about maybe 125. And then we had a tech pack built and then a prototype shipped out from our factory. Like up to date, I think we've talked to over 1,000 plus women. I think we're at maybe 3,500 now. So, all of that feedback is basically what helps us develop gear. Do you have to outsource to Asia, Danielle? We are manufactured in Vietnam for the pants and in Cambodia. So if I manufacture those pants here, I don't know if you've seen the price point, but they sit at $179. If I manufacture them here in the United States, one, we don't have the skill set anymore. We've offshored that years ago. So to find sewers that are actually going to make that the way that it's made right now, constructed, is going to be very difficult. But to the cost, it'll go from $179 to like a $600 pant, which nobody wants to pay for. So we have to offshore.
Absolutely understandable. So I see you have the Clio beanie in a couple different colors. One is blaze.
It's
Do you,
reversible. So it's
yeah.
gray
Oh,
on
okay.
one side, and then you flip it over, and
Oh, even
it's
better.
blaze on the other, and then it has a ponytail slit in the back for you to pull your pony through.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
That is absolutely amazing. So are you looking at getting into blaze?
As it gets requested more from the customer, we'll start leaning into that area. Yeah.
Okay.
So far, it's not as much as you think it would be. So we don't have anything as of yet besides the beanie. Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that at this point in time, hold on.
Yeah, I can't do anything with it either.
Why won't it let me kick them? Oh, no, I didn't want to do that.
No.
Stop it. Sorry, I'm trying to boot that person for being absolutely just obnoxious. And it won't let me. Thanks, StreamYard.
I can't answer that question, actually. That fabric doesn't work for our girl.
Yeah.
A lot of them wear BDUs. If a lot of our customers were vets at one time or were in the military at one time, and they've said, they've worn those in the field and they don't work either.
Yeah.
So.
Plus the expense involved in trying to alter and do alterations is astronomical.
Yeah, the unit economics doesn't work.
No. You even if you were to take, even if you found, say, multicam that would work, theoretically, it's not going to work as well as the camouflages that you're using. And you're talking like, say, the Eve, the long sleeve at $69.
Yeah.
You'd be looking at to buy something from the RV Navy store that's actually holding up. You would be looking at, after alterations, you'd be looking at easily $350 for the shirt.
Yeah.
So
it all comes down to cost.
Yep.
Well,
and practicality.
But also what our customer wants to. So she's always first.
Yep. And that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was kind of my other, I suppose a lot of the stuff that you're offering, a lot of the blaze requirements are going to be for gun deer, which is later in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And these are going to wind up being underlayers, I suppose. So at that point in time, are you looking at getting into heavier coats and at that?
Yeah, we are.
Someday down the road.
Yeah, we definitely are. So the jacket that we have coming out in October is a midweight jacket. It actually is the same material as our pants are. So our pants are midweight. And you can take them with a good base layer, like down to maybe 3 degrees, 5 degrees. I've gone as low as 5 in them. I've had wear testers go lower, much lower. So they do perform really well. But we are looking at, starting insulated, puffy, like we're starting to go into that direction and work down our product roadmap and line up factories and get all those dialed in. So I don't know if we'll have a couple of those items available next year or if it'll be the year after. It just depends on it just depends on a few things on the factory side. So but yeah, we are definitely going into that direction and we will be adding more to the assortment.
What about gloves?
We'll get to gloves. Yeah, accessories, headgear. Headgear in the sense of not just hats and beanies, but a lot of the ladies like those little like bands that you see that hold their hair
the
back that
earmuff
can go
bands.
over their ears and keep their ears warm.
Okay.
Concealed carry. So we have looked into that, and we were going to have a component built into the jacket that we have coming out in October. However, there was a safety issue with that. So we removed it, and we are working with a consultant to actually help us better understand what needs to happen in the garment. So that way, the next round that we do, so the next PO we put in for the jacket, we'll have that. And then we're also looking at the future products that we have that are in our roadmap, what we can add that conceal in as well. So for that option for you, it just with the jacket, there was a you put your hand in the pocket, then there was a slit for you to be able to get your gun out, and there was a hanging up issue, and I wasn't going to have someone's life put in jeopardy over that. So I was like, just kill it. We'll figure it out later. And we're working with an awesome consultant that's helping us like with that pocket for a future run. So we do keep that in mind, especially now that we're moving, not just adding camo, but we're adding more solids to our line, where we know ladies are going to want to wear that, item more than just hunting. They might want to wear it out and about. So that way they have that option of being able to get their handgun out.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Raylene.
You're welcome.
So what else do you want to share?
I'm like, what else can I share?
I have a little funny, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of our favorite reloaders in the reloading room and in the reloading podcast group he's even been on the show. He's Mio Gumba Salvatore Cinquemani, and he's from Sicily. He's an immigrant from Sicily, and it's not really a funny story. I just he speaks perfect English as you do, and so on and so forth. And it's just like he embraces being an American and he embraces being a loader. What caught my attention to the guy's skill is he created something in a federal clear hull called buck and ball. We put a ball of buckshot, like what was it, like five rounds of 5 BBs, 33,000, Mike, something like that.
Yeah.
With a round ball underneath of it. And that caught my attention because I'd never seen such a unique loading. Turns out that loading was created back in the Civil War days, and the guys were actually reloading it in their muzzle loaders by hand.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Nick nodding his head. Because, yeah, I may not have the details perfectly right, but
No, you're 100% correct, Jim. There's actual guys that are actually still doing that modern reloading muskets today like that and shooting them.
And that's what caught my attention with Salvatore Cinquemani, good old Sal. He's he's a real character. He's Sicilian as the day is long. Yeah, good man. Okay, here's another one for you, Ms. Raylene.
Gen Champ Jr.
Got it.
What about fanny packs for men?
You want to, Mike? I'm sorry.
We're not going to make anything for men. How about that? We are strictly.
There you go.
A women's company. So there
yeah,
you
Gen
go.
Champ Jr. If you want a fanny pack for men, go to Blue Alpha.
Sorry, Mike. I would have left it alone if I'd known that.
Oh, he's just being a putz. So that's Tiffany Brandon that's asking the question. She said, I missed part of this. Is the ladies' concealment clothing curvy girl friendly?
So it'll be once we dial it all in, it'll be the exact same sizing structure that we have with the concealed option. So yes, it will be.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tiffany's actually the person that did these is doing these shirts for us and
Oh, awesome.
our tumblers for us. So
Mike, did you say there's 2 different style tumblers?
yeah,
More than one style?
yeah,
Okay, I'll have to look on the site again because I don't
I
see
think
it.
there's 3, isn't there?
there is
The powder, the
There.
brass, and American
Yeah,
flag.
yeah, powder, brass, and American flag.
I'll look at them again.
Yeah, you will, slacker. So, um, so was this your first year at SHOT Show?
This was our first year at SHOT Show. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was. So it was my first. It wasn't my first time attending. I went the year before just to kind of feel it out, check it out, meet some partners. But it being our first year on the floor with the booth and all of that, it was very overwhelming, but it was a lot of fun. Very nerve-wracking because you're presenting, we presented our baby to the world there. So it was that grand entrance of here we are. Lots of press. It was great. Our PR manager, Scott, did a fantastic job, lining everyone up, getting everyone to come to the booth. Alpine Optics is a huge partner of ours, and they gave us space in their booth, and we're very grateful and thankful for that because we wouldn't have been able to go without their support. So, we leaned heavily on our partners and had a killer show, had great PR. Couldn't have asked for a better show to come out of that, to debut and let everyone know that, that we were there. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was fun to meet people that, were Instagram friends that were like, hey, I'll see you at SHOT Show. I'm like, great, stop by the booth.
Right.
And then to spend time with some friends as well that were there too. But it was really good. I went to the OWN Women's Network night there and met up with some ladies that were huge on helping us with the last couple of years, giving us introductions to companies and to people and help spread the word and being Angelists for us. So that was really nice to go in and just have an evening with them and meet new women in the industry and hear about, more about how fast we're growing in this industry, which is exciting. And, what all of us are doing from a lobbying standpoint or helping our community and helping our state, conservation. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I unfortunately didn't get to go to SHOT this year. I went last year, but Nick and Shrenda and Ray went. So, but that is so cool that they opened up Caesars now. So there's more space because
there is more.
There's the way it used to go is the Wednesday of SHOT Show, or actually the Tuesday of SHOT Show week. They would have a limited engagement upstairs on the 3rd floor for like 15 companies, and you got to be there Tuesday, and then you were done and you were out. And then everybody else would come in and that area would be reset with other places on Wednesday. So it's awesome that there's so much more space and now more companies. So, and it's awesome to hear that you've got a good partner that you're working with.
We'll be on the main floor with them again next year in the booth. The booth will look a little different. But yeah, we'll be there again, and I'm excited to be there again. It was nice to be invited back. So
that is awesome.
Yeah, it's really nice. I can't wait. So we'll have new products to debut, and more press to do. You all know what it is. More hitting the pavement, more spending time with partners, and just getting the word out there.
Yeah.
Products for women from women. Nothing like it.
Yeah.
Most of the best part about it is you understand what the girls need.
Yeah.
We do. Yeah. The best part is too that since we go so small, we can actually fit young ladies. So we can fit that tween to teen and then all the way up, which is really good. So we do have a lot of dads that will come over and they'll start looking and doing that, the test, the hearing test. They're doing that. And then are these girls' clothes? And we're like, well, what do you mean by girls' clothes? Like girls' clothes or like women's clothes? And he's like, oh, my daughter's like 13. We're like, bring her in. And he'll go get her and bring her in, and we'll size her up and get her into a room, and she comes out and she's got a big smile on her face. And he's like, you want those? And dad just buys them. And then since dad just bought a $179 pair of pants for daughter, he's like, well, I got to get your mom a pair too. So he goes and gets mom, and it's like a family affair. But it's great. It's awesome that I get to, start the younger generation, that I get to dive into that. And I remember being that small and having to wear like my dad's camo at the age of 13, which was not fun, and having to piece that together. So to give them something to start out with, and it's comfortable and it works, and they can wear it since it adjusts so much, even the waist adjusts like 2 inches by moving the button over, it'll last them a long time. And if they have a little sister, you can pass it down. So it's awesome.
I remember when my sisters went hunting, and it was a lot of sweatpants and sweatshirts and stuff. Some stuff that would kind of fit, but not really. So I remember when we were walking out to the blind, literally me carrying everything for my sister just so she could make sure that her jacket stayed on and her pants stayed up. So it's awesome that you guys have got, or you ladies have got, this product line out there that is not only for the the media presented female, but actually real women. So yeah,
that was the goal, was can we fit as many sizes as we possibly can, and how can we do that? And
it looks like you've nailed it.
And it works when she gets it on. It doesn't not work.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah, we were told last week we were at Hunters Extravaganza in San Antonio, and someone walked by and was checking out our stuff and was watching the women come in and out of the changing room and said, I could tell that you have figured out the secret sauce. And we were like, it's good sauce. It's really good sauce.
Yeah, it's one of those things that a lot of women are nervous about it in the first place, because unfortunately, for the most part, hunting is still a man's world. It's not, but it seems that way. It still has that appearance, but it's it's nice that now, instead of everything still continuing to be, here's men's stuff, figure it out, now that when they're so passionate about it, now they're comfortable while they're doing it too.
Yeah, when we started, women were 20% of the market, and now we're 40% of the market. So within 3 years, within 3 years, and it's rapidly growing daily. And we're also the ones that are bringing in the kids, because kids want to hang out with mom. Majority of us are moms. At least my customer is a mom, and her kids want to hang out with her, and so she's the one taking them out now. She's the one teaching and mentoring and going through that process, and that retention to keep her in there is important. And we're also hearing from moms that are coming into our booth like, I haven't hunted in like 6 years, 7 years, because they had babies, and now their kids are old enough that they could take them out, or they're old enough where dad's like, I can handle them, like, go do your thing. And so she's coming back. So that's also adding to the percentage as well. But it's great. It's incredible to see us grow. We're a new voice too. We're doing a lot more of the lobbying and of the conservation work. And we are actually capturing those powers that be, and they're listening to us. And that's also exciting, because we get to bring that heritage and keep it going, as and lobby for our rights to keep our hunting rights, or change laws to make them better for us, or lobby against the ones that don't make sense, like I'm lobbying against one right now here in California. That's driving me crazy. But it's awesome to see that women have found that they don't have to have a big platform to be able to do that, that they have figured out that as long as a forum is open, they can go and speak. They can write letters to their congressman or assembly person, and they can impact change.
That is amazing that you're not just trying to sell a product, but you're involved heavily.
Yeah, it's about the community. It's about my community. So I've been, I know we haven't talked about this, but I've been in the outdoors before I could walk. Like my dad was sticking me in like this rusty old red backpack, like as a baby, and like hiking around with me in the woods, trying to give my mom a break while he's scouting for deer season or something like that. And I'm also an only child, so I kind of had no choice in the matter. Like, here's a fishing pole, here's a worm, let me teach you how to do this. My earliest memories of fishing are like 3, and I'm sure it was more before that as well, but that's like my early remembrance of, I remember doing this. My mom's like, you were like 3. I'm like, wow, that's pretty little. All the way to, wanting to go upland hunting with my dad, which that's when he sucked me in with hunting in general, because he was working the dogs. And I was like, I want to work the dog. And he's like, yeah, you want to work the dog? Like, if no one knows how to get their kid involved, get a dog. Go upland hunting, get a dog, be like, here, you get to do these things. Here's how to work a whistle. Here's how to work the dog. And you got yourself a little assistant.
Yep.
Take the bird out of the mouth, put it in the back of my vest. And like, seriously, I do it with my son now. But that's how he sucked me in, was I was like, I want to work the dog. So he was like, great. So he took me to the bird training classes with him. And basically that was a training for me, how to work her. And just, basically go from there with that. And then that developed like my love for upland hunting and going with him every season, all the way to he started shooting archery competitively and learning for hunting reasons too, where I was like 9 at the time. And I begged him for a month to, can I have a bow? Can I have a bow? Can I have a bow? And part of that was I wanted to hang out with Dad because Dad was cool. Not that Mom isn't, but Dad was cool. And he really was like, you're just going to pluck it around for maybe like an hour and be done with it. So he borrowed a bow from a friend and, took me in. I grew up on a micro ranch. So took me in the back and went over safety with me and put me in front of a target and was like, there you go. Like, this is what you do. Just figure it out kind of. And I was on paper and shooting, not like small groups, but nice size groups. And he had me keep doing it again and again, and was like, you kind of have a natural talent for this. Do you want to do this as a sport? And I was like, sure. And then we just built upon it from there. So competing led to hunting with my bow, and it just, everything kept going. We've always camped and hiked and every Father's Day would go to Lake Sabrina and Bishop for a trip for a week and go fly fishing. So I've been heavily involved since I was a kid. Definitely now as an adult and a founder of a company. I've been a member of CBH, so California Bowhunters Association, since I was a kid. Now as an adult, I'm heavily involved, and I'm on the legislative committee. And anytime we need to lobby, I'm there. I'm meeting with assembly people and senators, and wherever I can get the word out. If something isn't right, or if we want something, like we are still lobbying and asking for a second bear season. We have the population for spring bear. There's so many bear out here. It's heavy, and we can support it now where we couldn't support it before. So that's one effort. The other one is the extra taxes that's being added onto our ammunition that does not go to our state conservation pool that we pull there. It's going towards basically gun awareness. Not that I'm against that, but if you're, I don't understand why I have to pay an extra tax if I'm not a criminal on my ammo. And if my ammunition and my guns and my bows and all of that are going up an extra 11%, now I have 30-something% of taxes, I'm not going to buy anything. So then my $35+ million that goes into my state conservation now gets lessened. And what is that going to do to my deer herd? And what is that going to do to my birds? What is that going to do to the wilderness in general that's out here? So like those are the efforts that I'm personally working on with the organizations that I'm attached to. We're also, as a company, heavily involved with Wilderness, which, as you know, Surrenda is one of the founders of.
Yep.
Yeah, we're currently sponsoring the Opportunity Fund for this year for Go Wild. And we try to support the ladies throughout the year as much as we possibly can, too, because they have amazing efforts out there, and our values align for getting more women and more people involved in the outdoors. So yeah, we're heavily involved. We just don't make stuff and throw it out there. We're very involved.
That is awesome to hear.
As an aside, we appreciate what you're saying about this Second Amendment rights. You know, why are we paying taxes on ammunition if we're not criminals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
we don't do politics very much here on the show, but I just wanted to say we appreciate your attitude.
Thank you.
So, more importantly, appreciate the effort of
Thank you.
Of still, a lot of people that are in California have kind of given up, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's another reason why I'm very the not giving up. If I do, then that my heritage is gone here. Everyone's like, you could just simply move, but then how is that going to affect my fellow bowmen or my fellow hunters? Or it trickles down. And as much as I don't use my firearms as much as I use my bow, those taxes do as an archer get passed on to me as well. And I don't understand why I need to take care of that for you. But my biggest concern is the money that gets taken away from conservation, because the things that I buy each year, and I buy a lot of arrows and a lot of things for my bow because I lose them, or they blow up because I compete as well. I just don't hunt with them. Every dozen that I buy, like X amount goes towards that 35+ million pot. And I know where that money is going. I know it's going, it is going to conservation, and I have no problem paying that. And I want the best herds I can get. I want the best, birds I can get. I want the best of everything. I want to keep them healthy. I want our environment to be great. I want people that don't hunt, that just go out and camp, and maybe they just fish, or I don't care what you do outdoors, but you get to enjoy a majority of that because of hunters. Right. And our money is what goes out there. So if it goes away, you're not going to be able to enjoy the things that we all like to enjoy. So at the end of the day, for me, it's conservation. And I've explained that to senators. I've explained that to assemblymen, that I take the hunting equation out of it, and I try as much as I can to say, yeah, I am a hunter, but my money for that goes to these things that so many people love. And that's what I don't want to see go away. And if the hunting goes away, you don't get to have that anymore. And it's that simple.
Yeah, people don't understand about the Pittman-Robertson Act and all of the stuff that it funds.
It funds a lot.
The national parks, state parks, county parks, recreational lands, wildfowl, waterfowl, habit restoration, animal restoration.
Yes.
And people don't get it, that if it's not for all of us in this, that are the end users of all of these hunting and fishing and outdoors products that are covered under the Pittman-Robertson Act,
right,
that none of this would exist.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And even though living out here, and then when I go to the Midwest or to the South, and people are like, you live in California, it's a terrible state. And I'm like, well, the politics may not be that great, but it's actually beautiful here. And I would like to keep it beautiful as much as I can. It's my home state. And if I have to stay here as long as I can to preserve what I can and CBH is a big part of that. While I'm there, obviously for archery reasons, but I do help with legislation. Then I'm going to die trying. Really, honestly, it is, because at the end of the day, politics are politics. But if you could keep nature, that's benefiting everybody.
Exactly. Now, are you in northern or southern?
I'm in central southern.
Okay.
When you watched the news this winter and you saw that California had a blizzard,
yeah,
that's where I live.
Sweet. I've gotten a visit a couple times. I spent a week in Paris and Moreno Valley.
Oh yeah, that's not far from me. Yeah.
And then I spent a week in Apple Valley.
I am in Victorville.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Actually, I was staying in Victorville when I was in Apple Valley. I used to work for O'Reilly Auto Parts. So
we have one up here.
When all the Craigens switched, to O'Reilly's, I came out and helped with a couple of the store conversions. Thankfully for Apple Valley, it was in February.
Oh, because it gets hot here. I don't know if you know. Does. Like it was 105 today, and that's not the hottest, kids. No. It could get to 120 up here. I've been here. I've lived here a majority of my life. I grew up in Phelan, which is just a little town this way.
Yep.
That's where we had our micro ranch. So I grew up here. This is my hometown. This is my home base.
And it is absolutely beautiful out there.
I'm very proud to be a small town girl. Yeah, it's wonderful here. It's a great community of people. We don't have as much agriculture and ranching as we used to. That makes me sad. But if you are a lifer, I don't think I'm going to be a lifer here. But if you're a lifer, you go way back, and you're probably some of the nicest people I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you do any reloading at all? Just out of curiosity.
I'm learning how to reload because I do have a few shotguns, maybe more than a few. We won't go into that in great detail. But
why not? They get sunk in the bottom of the canoe?
No, they're in the safe to my right, actually. My dad was teaching me, and then he passed away last year, so we didn't get to finish the teaching. But I kind of took a break from all that for a little bit. But I do have Sharenda, who's offered 1,001 times, like, girl, you could sit next to me at the bench, and I'll teach you, and you can reload your own things. I still collect my hauls, though, like a good girl at the,
That's awesome.
At the range. So I collect them, and then I bring them to my uncle, and then he does all that for me.
Yeah.
But I promised myself I would learn. I mean, I can do my own arrows. If I could do my own arrows, I could do.
If you can make arrow, if you could fletch and crest your arrows, and you can knock them in the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can reload. Reloading is much easier comparatively speaking.
All that technicality. I do have my dad's bench still with all of his stuff and all of his recipes. So there was a rule when it came down to breaking down the things, and I said, if it's outdoor or shooting sport related, you are not allowed to take it. It's very clear, very, very clear.
Yeah.
Very, very clear on that. Yeah. But yeah, I have a really nice Remington field sport that I took with me a couple months ago to the range with my uncle. And we did some skeet shooting, and that thing is so nice. And I hadn't shot it. And I was doing really well. And my uncle was like, what do you think of her? I was like, she's really nice. And he was like, yeah, your dad bought that for you. He never got to give it to you. So I didn't even know. I just went into the safe and was like grabbing some stuff and was like, she's pretty, and just kind of took her with me. So that, I have to say, not just because it was an unknown gift, but just the way it shoots, it's one of my favorites that I have in here. So have a duck hunt now secured and planned for January, the beginning of January, and that will be one that comes with me for sure.
Ms. Raylene, we have a guest in the chat. He's a personal friend of mine. He's from an international friend. He's from the country called Guyana in South America. And he just wanted to pay his respects to you about your father and all that. He wasn't being facetious in any way whatsoever.
I do.
His name's Dubé Dunoth. Good man, good young man.
Thank you, Dubé. I appreciate that. Yeah, my dad was an incredible human. So
That's awesome. He had that last gift for you.
yeah.
So, if you decide you want, I shouldn't say if, but when you decide you want to get back into reloading, especially shot shell and stuff, give me a holler.
Call Saul Sicamani. He'll take care of you.
So,
Mia Gumba.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
Yeah. My dad actually taught me to load shot shell. And so I've got quite a bit of experience, especially for trap loads and stuff. So
a funny story.
He kept 2 kids shooting skeet for 3 years, shooting trap for 3 years.
There's actually a mech press right up there on top of that safe behind me. So, and there's another one right there underneath the red cover.
Yeah, there's so many in the garage that I need to take. I actually need, my uncle's a little bit more proficient. I know what stuff is, but not like a deep dive into certain things. So he actually offered to come up and we'll go through everything, label everything, write everything out, organize it. Cause I'm like, I said, there's so much that I have no clue. And I find reloads everywhere. Like I'll go in the garage and look for something. And then there's like a box and I'm like, what the hell? And I'll pull it. And I'm like, we're preparing for the apocalypse. I know that's what was going on.
He was.
So I find them randomly in spots. I'll be like, why is ammo hidden here? But I don't have to ask for that because I'm like, it's Dad. I know that. But I'm like, why would you put it
But
there?
the beautiful thing is you're not having a fit because you got ammo in your hand.
No, totally not having a fit. Like it's all over the place here. I'm pretty sure I might bust into a wall in here somewhere and find a case. I don't know.
Oh, it's just Dad being Dad.
Dad set me up. That's for sure. I was looking for a box of clays one day and like was moving stuff around and I found a case of stuff and I was like, what? Like, okay, I need inventory. I need to know what I have because I don't know what I have. There's so much, but I am thankful, I will have to say. And if he ever was bored, he would just go out and it's not like it doesn't get used. It does. But yeah, so there's a lot out there.
Sounds like you're in good hands with your uncle.
Yeah, he's great. I'm pretty sure if I didn't have him, I'd definitely be lost. He was also, my dad's range buddy too. So it's nice that I still have someone to go to the range with. I'm not going by myself when I go out there. Not that I don't mind going by myself, but it's always fun to go out with him and my dad. It was the funnest time. So now I just give him a hard time when we're there.
There you go.
He wouldn't have it any other way.
No, he actually would not.
Yep.
Well, your father's brother or your mother's brother, whichever, I'm not sure about the relationship, but it's like, why not pick him up as a second dad, at least in the reloading in the area?
Oh, yeah, he actually is. So him and my aunt or my godparents and my cousin and I are both only kids and we were brought up like sisters. So we're very close. So yeah, he definitely is like my second dad.
Good man.
Which is great to have. So yeah, it's fun. And he appreciates it because my cousin now lives in Texas. She doesn't live here anymore. So he has, one, as he puts it, one of my girls to take to the range. And I like to give the old man a hard time too. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's on your Tumblr?
Oh my gosh. So my really good friend Heather had this made for me for my birthday.
Hold up close to the screen. We're gonna put you on solo layout.
So it's a deer and then it has my name on the bottom. But this guy actually is very, very close to he looks like the my buck that I shot a couple years ago that I actually booked state with. So I shot a buck in 2020, the end of 2020, in a place called Vincent's Gulch, and the percentage of being able to get a deer out of there, let alone a buck, was only like 5%. Like that's what I was up against. So this was the year that I needed gear like no other. This was the start of Ditale. So I harvested this beautiful buck out of Vincent's Gulch, and then I had him measured by CBH, and he actually booked. And I was when I was called by the president of the organization, he gave me the statistics, and then he said, "So you are the only woman to book a buck in that area with a bow." So, or only woman, period, but to book it with a bow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's really, really cool. And I hope that I am not the only woman in that book either. So I definitely said at our banquet, like, I want to see more of you, in this book, especially in this zone, because this zone is not easy.
Yeah.
It's a tough zone. But yeah, that's what's on there. So she had that made for me. It's beautiful. And she got it for me for my birthday, and she was like, it looks kind of similar to your guy on the wall. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you want to share before we?
I mean, thank you for having me. This has been really fun.
Absolutely.
It's been nice to meet everybody, and thank you for being warm and welcoming. I've had some podcasts that I've popped on where it's been an interesting experience, to say the least.
No, no, once Sharenda told me about you and the products you're doing, I knew that we had to figure out a way to get you on, because as you said, it's gone from 20 to 40%, and it's continuing to grow. And yes, it's important. So I'm in the gun library now, but I used to be at the gun counter. And one of the biggest challenges for females is concealed carry. Yes. How do you be able to dress the way you want to dress and still be able to carry? Well, unfortunately, a lot of them are like, "Oh, I'm going to get a purse." No, off body's bad. So that's why I like Denny Adams. I recommend that to a lot of people, and then I also know Lisa and Julie from Flashbang, and they've got some products too, and it allows flexibility because it's designed by women for women. So a couple of years ago, I saw the owner of Denny Adams at SHOT Show. She's like 5'2", 5'3", and kind of thin, and she was concealing 4 Glock 19s.
Oh my God!
Wow!
In her outfit, and you couldn't tell.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So when you mentioned you're getting into concealed carry, I thought that was awesome, because it's definitely awesome that we're getting more women making clothing for women.
Yeah, it's definitely the thought, like we put into, like, where's she going to wear this? And then it's, this is a solid color. She's probably just not going to wear it in the field. She's probably going to wear it to pick up her kids, to run some errands. And then it's knowing our customer as well as we do. We know she carries. So how can I make that accessible for her? Like, how could I, we talked, Sharenda helped on this too. She gave a lot of feedback. Like I said, at the end of the day, just, trying to pull it just was not safe. And I was like, I'm not going to have somebody get hurt from this. So we will make it a pocket, and we will do more work, because I'm not going to release something. And if Summer was here, so she's our CDO, she's the one that makes the magic happen. She takes all the data and makes everything. She would say the same thing too. We don't do subpar. We do 100%. So if
Yep.
we have to wait a little bit, then we wait a little bit. But it's important to her. She's asked several times for it. So we're going to bring it to market, but, in definitely a safe way and something that serves her where she doesn't have to worry. And whatever we can build in the future that can accommodate that, jackets and things, we'll ensure that that's in there as well.
That's most excellent.
You're getting a free boost on the bottom.
That's Katie. Hi, Katie. Thank you. Oh, the knee pad pockets are genius. The saddle. Yeah. So the pants do have a knee pad capability. So there's a pocket inside, like you reach your hand up inside the leg, and there's a pocket for you to put a knee pad. Shrenda has a pair of our pants, and she's learning how to use a tree saddle. And she was like, I put knee pads. I use the knee pad capability, and it works. It works well. So there's a lot of features in those those things. They're jam packed. V2 is coming out here soon, and it'll have even more. So I don't know how we did it, but we did. So,
well, I'll tell you what. When V2 comes out, we'll have you back on, and you can tell us all about it.
Sure.
So
but I would love that.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite things to do is not only to introduce companies to our listeners, but we know you're going to be bringing out new stuff, and when you bring new stuff out, have you come back on and talk about the new stuff too. So
yeah, I love that.
But yeah, Sharonda's like, I'm not sure what I all missed. I had surgery this evening, and Lionel.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, yeah, she's been going through heck with that mouth. So,
Mike, yeah.
What? It's dental surgery. You
no, it's Sharenda.
Putz.
Give us ammo to beat her up some more.
You're a putz.
I was at the dentist tonight. You know that.
Anyway, so we look forward to having you back on when you release your
I look forward to coming back.
Updates and stuff. So yeah, just keep in touch with Sharenda, and you've got our email address now too, so you can shoot us an email.
Yes.
So I was just looking. Katie's laughing.
I know.
But it's awesome. So definitely appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So and,
nice to meet you, Ms. Raylene.
It was nice to meet you too.
Look forward to meeting you in person at SHOT.
Yes, we will be there. You won't be able to miss the booth, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm planning on going this year. So, in addition to Nick and Ray and Sharenda, so and maybe others. So
maybe
we'll see.
Nice if we can get the whole crew there. That'd be awesome.
That would be.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Well, Nick, if you hurry up and win the lottery.
Yeah, Nick, what's wrong?
I don't buy lottery tickets. The only time I buy lottery tickets is when it's super high.
Well, see, there you go. Get on
it. $1 billion. It's like I gotta go get a Powerball ticket.
It's $10. Hey, it's the only time I buy it. Yeah. I think I've only ever bought one scratch off ticket, and that's it.
The Reloading Podcast is moving to Nevada on a huge complex. Oh.
Yeah, we just bought up Nellis AFP.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Really.
No, I don't want Nellis. It's too close to Area 51. Anyway, so Raylene will let you go.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been an awesome pleasure.
It was wonderful being here. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So this will get turned to an audio podcast, and that will go out a week from Sunday.
Okay.
So
cool. Well, we will let the crew over here know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this show you're actually seeing us on, it will stay on YouTube for the long term.
Yep, YouTube and Rumble, and it used to be Utreon. I guess it's now Player. They renamed it, rebranded it. So
Reloading Podcast, 463 Ditale Outdoors.
So all right. So all you got to do is just click on
studio.
Yep.
Okay, awesome. Bye, guys.
be all
Thank
set.
you.
Thank you.
Take care, dear.
You too.
Take care. Oh my goodness, that's way too much. Okay, that's
Wow.
better. No, when she left, it was this picture, and that's way too much, Jim. Yay, I'm number one.
Again.
Brenda said she can't hear anything.
No, I can hear everything.
We're not
can hear
saying
fine.
anything to you, Shrenda. We got you muted.
So, what an awesome company, and she's so awesome. So, I'm glad we got to have her on.
Mm-hmm.
Next couple of weeks, not next couple of weeks, but coming up, we're gonna have Chad from Southern Shine Media on sometime in September, and then we're gonna have Tyler Kemp from MK Machining probably in October. Maybe the end of
that'd
September.
be something. It's like I've made bullets on the screw machine, and it's a long process unless you're using a CNC.
Yep.
And my God, but boy, solid copper, solid brass.
Is that? I don't think they do bullets, do they, Mike? Is that the ones that
No.
do this? That's how I was thinking. They're actually based out of Missouri. They do custom extruded scope bases, scope rings, muzzle brakes, super high end stuff for a small time operation.
Yep. Excuse me.
When I think of machining, of course, I'm thinking the small screws, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But making bullets, God help me, I'm a reloader,
Mm-hmm. Well, a couple of the things that they make is adapters for like magneto speed and some other cool stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they'll be on in a couple weeks.
Yeah, they're getting popular with their new bolt action chassis. That's starting to gain some traction. So
Shrenda figured it out. She couldn't hear anything. It's me. We kept telling you earlier in the show, Shrenda, you were on the wrong side of the screen. Pretty decent show, Mike, I have to say.
Yeah, it was very awesome. So for all of you in the chat right now, the first 10 people to send me an email to reloadingpodcast@gmail.com will get a Firearms Radio Network patch.
yeah. Well, how many are on? How many are listening? 16. So you got pretty good odds, I'd say.
And Shrenda is not allowed.
Can I provide? Mike, look.
No, this is actually literally a Firearms Radio Network patch.
Gotcha, FRN, not Patriot patch. I got you.
Well, you got loud.
Well, it's because my microphone's right here.
No.
Sorry. Excuse me.
So, all right, gang. So, what are we doing? Get out of the way. So tomorrow I'm going out shooting. I'm going to be Bench Addict and Ken. I am hopefully going to have time to load up some 30-30. So, I'm going to load up some of the 140 grain, and I'm not going to load up any of the 160 grain right now. I'm just going to load up the 140 grains. So I got to come up with my breakdown on that. So, but we'll see. What?
Private chat.
Oh. So. Anyway, so hopefully I'll have something to talk about. We will not have a show next week because it's another American holiday, Labor Day.
I got a 4-day weekend coming up.
I got a 5. Actually, today was my Friday. So, I mean, I got Cabela's Friday night and Saturday, but
Yeah.
I don't have to be back to my regular job until Tuesday. Now, tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm going to be playing around tomorrow, but I got to go to the DMV and get a new license. But the unfortunate part of the reason why I'm off is because I have to move my other kid. So he's moving back to town, so I'm going to help move him. So
Mike highlighted it for you, Nick, but I don't know you've read it by now. Have you ever read Nagant Ammunition?
I have not personally because I don't own a Nagant revolver,
Nagant.
but I have done some research for some friends and looked into it when I eventually do get a Nagant revolver. Super easy. PPU makes brass, PPU makes bullets. Super easy. So I think Lee makes dies. I haven't looked into the die part yet, but yeah, it's nothing too difficult. No case reforming or anything. It's you can buy the components. So yeah, it's nothing terrible. So yeah, the oddest part about it is probably compared to conventional reloading is you're actually seating the bullet inside the case. So seat depth is a little different on how that works. That's where I haven't done the research yet, but if you follow the Lee manual, I guarantee it kind of walks you through it, or even I guarantee you there's YouTube videos out there. So,
well, the other question I have isn't a Nagant revolver top break?
No, so it's interesting. Instead of it's different from every other. Well, not every other. It's kind of a mix of a regular revolver that doesn't top break or doesn't swing out. So it has a pin that pulls out. So well, there's a way to take the cylinder out, but it's not that easy. So how it was truly meant for the service members is you pull a little pin out, you turn. So here's the cylinder, here's your bore. So you got the pin that rides inside the cylinder circle, the middle circle. Pull that out, it swings out to the side. Then your lift gate side gate comes down, and it pushes out. Then you turn. So
sounds complicated.
It is a very complicated, just weird pistol and revolver in general. I should have bought one years ago when they were dirt cheap, like $150, $200, because now they're pushing $450, $500. So, and I just won't pay that for that kind of gun unless I find one that's super early, non-Soviet bloc. It's all Imperial Russian. That's where I'll pay a little bit of money for, but nothing. So.
Good question, Pen Jockey. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. It's something you don't see very often. And for like I said, for most people that have reloaded for a long period of time, it's something that you would never think of. It's not like you're taking and figuring, okay, I need to do from my case overall length or cartridge overall length is such and such. But you can't because you're seating it below case neck or case mouth. So there's no good way to measure. And really, until you do a compressed load, that's the only way you're going to know you're truly doing a compressed load.
Well, remember, there's several ways of doing it, but that's from a machinist's point of view. Mm-hmm. Like a flat bar with a hole in the middle, and you just drop your rat tail of the calipers down into the hole to the nose of the projectile. That way you know how far below the case mouth you are. Like I said, it's just...
What cartridge is that Nagant, Nick?
7.62 by... That's going to bug me. I think it's at 25, not 25. Let me just go Nagant. That'll tell me. Oh, I don't want brass. 762 by 38. It's a very just interesting.
I don't see load data for it.
Oh, that's hang on. We can do this. Loaddata.com.
Yeah, I'm even on Hodgdon's site and I don't see it. So
I'm sure it's on load data.
Oh, it's got to be. If something's not on load data, we have a problem.
yeah,
Let's just jump on, take a look. 7.62 by 38. What? No. It is not on there. That is a shocker. I am shocked. Well, hang on, let me do this. Do a quick search. Pan Jockey, shoot me an email. I can see if I can get you some information. Millserpduo at gmail.com. I can see what I can. It's weird. Load data doesn't have it.
I wonder if Quick Load does.
Yeah.
Let me go grab my tablet quick or my Surface quick. I'll be right back. In the meantime, so should I load up 3031 or IMR 3031 or IMR 4064?
3031.
Mm-hmm.
For my 3030.
3031.
3031. It's got 30 in the name.
I'll be right back.
Well, it's actually a powder that was designed for the cartridge.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Or
It was originally,
formulated for the cartridge, I should say.
it was originally designed. Yeah, in that kind of family, and then it's really just expanded out into all sorts of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now you come up. Oh no, there isn't any. That's why.
What's that? Load data finally gave you a report. No data found.
So I look up 762 Nagant load data on Google, and of course the third link is loaddata.com. Like, wait, it's right there. You open it, no results found. So
it sounds like somebody might have taken it down because Google doesn't usually miss stuff like that.
So here's one. A guy's using Winchester 231 powder. He's using a 110 grain carbine bullet, but that seems a little heavy of a bullet.
But he's using what sounds like a lead bullet or copper jacket.
So it's a copper jacketed bullet, is what it is.
Okay, well, 231 is a pretty fast powder too.
It's not a super heavy charge. It's a moderate. Let's say
the exact numbers. It's his data, not yours.
Yeah, it's this gentleman's using anywhere from he does multiple loads. He does 2.5 grains, 3 grains, and 3.5. So
That's light.
It's a pretty light load, but you're not shooting out of a 12, 13 plus inch barrel. You're shooting out of a 5.5 inch barrel.
Exactly.
So
like 38 gallery loads for bullseye, 2.7 grains of bullseye itself.
Mm-hmm.
Is a standard load for 38 special. So you're not 231's a little slower than bullseye powder. So that data is right there on the money.
Yeah. Plus, a nice thing about it with 231, you can use HP 38 because it's 95% the same powder.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
So
there you go, Pan Jockey. You got to load that a little bit of recipe right there.
That was actually on his second range trip. His third range trip, he bumped it to 4 grains and 4.5 grains. He had no issues. And with the 4 grains, it was similar to a little bit. Well, he says similar to Hot Shot Factory, which I don't know if Hot Shot made it, but it sounds like it's similar to Factory. So it's just, and that's on one of the forums. So.
Mike, if you don't mind, I'm going to leave it to you and Nick tonight.
Oh, we're about done.
Sounds like a winner. No, 4:20 comes early in the morning.
Holy crap, there's a lot of 6.5s. .62 by 38. So let's see here. But the question is, what bullet?
Use just for, well, he said what he's using. He's using the 85 grain, roughly, because he's sizing down from 311 to 308, and he has CR 308 diameter. So he put 85 grain bullet.
That'd be a 308 handgun bullet, right? Not
Yeah.
a rifle
Yep.
bullet.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, they've got a 86 grain Hornady round nose that
Close
they
enough.
list. So, but the thing is they're listing cartridge overall length of 2.12 and a case length of 1.513. Is that cylinder really that big?
Let's see.
If you're shooting projectile inside the case mouth, how could the COAL be longer than the case mouth?
Well, no, it's 39. So it's 38 millimeters. Which is not 2 inches.
Correct.
That's like 1.5, like 1.4966 repeating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe Quick Load didn't clear all that out.
Oh gosh, here's a guy's using Trail Boss. Whoo, interesting.
I really got to learn how to use Quick Loads.
Mike, what's that case length again?
38 millimeters. Oh, on his.
Okay,
was it?
I could go the other way. 38 millimeter.
Would be, it's like 1.49606 or something like that.
Yep, my computer is agreeing with you with my convert program. 1.496, just under 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
So that would be, wouldn't that be the COAL, Nick? If you're not loading it to actually, that would have
That's
to be
case though. Yeah, that's case overall length, and
Right.
like because it's not cartridge because the bullet's down inside. So that's what's weird.
But that would be cartridge length because you're inside the case.
Exactly.
mount.
Yeah, it's going to be both actually, case and cartridge. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And, well, I saw Pound Jockey say earlier that he seats that bullet 1 millimeter inside the mouth of the case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably because I don't know how to use Quick Load.
Well, and I'm looking on Wikipedia. I know I can't trust Wikipedia, but it says case length and trim length are 1.53. So it's a little higher, but still right in that ballpark.
What's only 30 seconds?
Yeah, it says case length is 1.513.
Okay.
So I don't know why it was listing.
2.2. I'm like, that's 3/4 of an inch longer. I'm like,
No. If you're seating it inside the case, it's got to be under the case length.
Yeah, I don't see any. It doesn't have. It doesn't have. I'd have to sit here and figure this out. So, but. Right now it's. How do we change the.
Wow, we still got 14 watchers.
So, anyway. So, yeah, I'd have to play around with this some more because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Someday I'll learn this. Anyway, I really need to get a hold of Tom and have Tom spend some time teaching me, or Jason have some spend time teaching me. Blech. Anyway, so
How much is quick loads, real quick?
I don't remember.
I could look into it. No big deal.
Yeah, I just need to learn how to use it. So, anyway. So yeah, we'll load up some 140 grains, IMR 3031. Charge range is 25.0 to 28.5. So I'll grab Jim's spreadsheet and break loads. Hopefully I can get it done tomorrow morning. We'll see how long it takes me at the DMV. So, but the nice thing is I've got 20 cases sitting here primed and ready to go. I just got to throw powder in them and stick a bullet in it. So that'll be easier. And then we'll go play. But, so yeah, I'll have to, like I said, I got to learn how to use quick loads. But, that's about it for tonight. Got to talk about Patriot Patch Company. Jim, what about Patriot Patch Company?
What about them?
What about them? They're a
They
fine
sent this
sponsor of the
patch out.
podcast.
They sent this patch out. They're our supporter of the podcast. Sent this
It's
sticker
a
out
patch
and
of the
this
month
patch.
for August. Yep. I've already seen the patch of the month for September. It's pretty awesome.
Bravo 6, mowing dark. Well, what the guy's got, he's carrying weapons, of course. His knee pads, he's all rich, fit, and ready to fight. And he's mowing with his NVG goggles on.
I only have 2 emails so far. So as of 8:37 p.m., I only have 2 emails.
That would be Central Time. So
Yep.
even the folks from overseas have time.
Yep.
Hint, hint, hint.
If I lived out in the country and had night vision, I would be mowing at dark. I would literally try it just to try it.
It doesn't work well because the grass gets wet from the dew.
No, that's true. There's certain.
I might do it with my I've got a Ryobi 40-volt mower. So that I could agree with.
I'm trying weed eating it. It'd still be just fun to try it.
You know, I gotta say, I got tired of playing around with carburetors and stuff, so we got this on a sale from Home Depot. It actually outperforms my Honda gas mower that I had.
Wow.
I can mow when it's damp, and it'll still bag it. And unlike most of your gas mowers, where it fills up like bottom half of the bag and then you're done, I can literally fill the entire bag with this mower.
Part of that would be on the mower design itself.
Right. Because they actually have attached to the blade, they have a little fan that helps create airflow.
Nice.
So I'm actually pretty impressed with it. So, I mean, you still got noise. It's not like it's, like a electric car quiet. You still have the electric motor, but
you're hearing the fan of the mowing blade itself.
Yeah, you're hearing part of the blade noise, and then you're hearing part of the motor. So, but yeah, I'm really happy with it. So,
how much grass are you mowing with that mower on a charge, Mike?
So we're on an acre lot, but it's a duplex, and it's about 2/3, so about 1/3 of an acre.
I mow about 1 1/8 acres myself. Probably would be stretching that battery charge.
Yeah. I've got a Dixon ZTR too that I actually mow the front part with, and depending on how long the back is, I'll mow the back with it if it's not too long. But my wife likes the back really short and doesn't want the dogs tracking grass in. So, but
what did Jim must have tried?
That's what I'm wondering.
Daniel Anderson, elaborate, please.
So, anyway,
I must have tried what?
mowing
in the dark. Actually, I have. I've actually tried mowing in the rain. That doesn't work either.
Yeah, no, I know that one. That doesn't work very well either.
The only way that works is with a Gravely machine that slings that rooster tail out there about 30, 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the machine's more powerful than the rain.
Yep.
So, yeah, Daniel, I did try mowing in the dark and the rain. Neither one works.
Nope.
The other thing is, too, about mowing in the dark is how do you tell, without NVG, how do you tell where you've been, where you haven't?
By the light of the moon.
Oh, shit. Good night, Mike. Good night.
Oh, Paul. Paul's got to be a smart ass and chime in. NVG works out okay in the country, but you need to focus them close. Anyway. So our other sponsor, speaking of electric, Patriot, forpatriots.com. So they've got a solar generator and survival food bumper. Oh, right now, new subscribers to their email, you're entered to win a $500 shopping spree. So right now they've got a Labor Day sale going on. It's their hero bundle. It's solar generator and survival food. 3-month survival food kit. And they get also a free 100-watt solar panel. You get the Patriot Power Generator 1800, and it's $24.99.
What's your name again, Mike?
forpatriots.com. And with Shop Pay, you can do monthly payments. So, yeah, they've got a couple of different generator options. They've got survival food. They've got emergency food bars. They've got solar cells for your phone, little ones.
That 2K solar power generator. That's pretty handy for charging little stuff.
Well, actually, you can run your fridge off of it.
Oh, 2,000 watts, I believe you.
Yep, the 2000X, you can run your fridge off of it. So they've also got some RV stuff. They've also got a Starfire camp stove, water for purification, different things. So, and they've got a preparedness blog where they post different information and stuff for you. So if it's your first time buying something, you can use code FRN for 10% off. And Daniel said Italian singing, Italian guest. Yeah, that wasn't really Italian singing. That was a bad impersonation of Dean Martin. So, by the way, if you want to see something absolutely hilarious, if you Amazon Prime has all the old Dean Martin Man of the Hours. The one where they do Dean Martin, they roasted Dean Martin. Orson Welles gets up and starts going through line by line. That's Amore. Friggin' hilarious. Just absolutely hilarious. So, but yeah, if you want some good old comedy, check out those old Man of the Hours. They're pretty good. So, anyway. Yeah, so forpatriots.com and then Patriot Patch Company. Make sure you check them out.
That would be with the number 4, not the letter word 4.
Correct. That is correct. And then, if you want to if you want to help the podcast and get the patch of the month, you can do that through Patreon. We have a Patreon level for that. Or if you just want to send us some money, you can do that too.
You gonna do the merch stuff?
Yep, working on it. If you go to our homepage, which is firearmsradio.net, then you use the drop-down menu to check Reloading Podcast. We have updated the link that says buy our merch. It now takes you to Southern Gals Crafts Reloading Podcast merch page. We have this lovely shirt, and it also comes in an additional option where it's got the anatomy of a pew on the back. Comes in 3 different colors. You can choose different sizes. Let's see here. What are the official color names? So anywhere from small to 5X. This is sport gray. There's military green and there's white. Jim has suggested black, but unfortunately, logo has quite a bit of black on it, and that would disappear. And to have Ryan Cross redo the logo with a different color would be a lot of money. So that's why we're not doing black. We also have the tumblers. So we have tumbler design with the Reloading Podcast logo. You can either do extruded powder, you can do brass, or you can do the American flag. Very good. Tumbler works great. And then we also have cam koozies, or as they call it, can coolers. Those are the little foamy things you put on your beer can to keep your beer cold or your soda cold. So check them out. Helps out the podcast. So thank you very much for that. It's been awesome working with Tiffany and Chris on this, getting this project going. So within the next few weeks, all of the hosts will have their own. So they're slowly but surely getting me their sizes and desires, and then I'm gonna get those ordered up and get them shipped out. So, but yeah, it's like I said a couple weeks ago. It's been we've tried a couple of companies in the past, and it's just never worked out. So this is pretty awesome.
I just sent you my information in the podcast chat.
Why, yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Didn't realize you'd read it.
Yes. I read everything. Bullshit.
Call it a night, Mike, please.
I got one quick shout out.
A night.
What's your shout out, Nick?
I know a lot of people won't hear this when it goes up later on, but thoughts and prayers with everybody down in the Florida, Southeast Coast, Georgia, South Carolina with the incoming hurricane. So
And North Carolina. Jim's going to get blasted too.
I didn't know
we got hammered and lambasted with hurricane rain today.
I didn't know how much it was going to get up there. So
yeah, they're going to get pounded again. So
yeah, we are.
When it sounds like it's going to go up into the armpit of Texas, go out into the ocean, and then potentially come back and hit the east side of Florida. So
anything for fun and excitement, I guess. So yeah, everybody hunker down. Also, for continued recovery for the folks in Maui.
Mm-hmm.
So,
they got it bad. They got it real bad.
Yeah. Make sure you're helping out your neighbors, gang. I'm not saying you got to give them money and all, but support them. If there's little stuff you can do, sometimes it's just as simple as pulling some weeds. So. But yeah, help them out. Yeah, that is a nasty looking hurricane.
I think it'll be Cat 3 by the time it hits land. So
yeah, right now it's still a tropical cyclone.
Oh no, it's hurricane. It's officially hurricane.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's
I've got one of the radar apps up and they're still calling it a cyclone, but yeah, they're tracking this to come across the panhandle. It's not going to go over as far as Texas, but it's going to come across the panhandle and right up through Georgia and the Carolinas and just barely catch Virginia. So, but yeah.
Anyway, good night, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Yep. So on that note, keep your brass shiny.
Jump on the Millsap short bus.
Support the Second Amendment. And you know what? That lady that was on the show tonight, she was one of the biggest and best supporters we've had in a long time.
Yep.
How? So. By the fact that she's drawing the female half of our population and our gender I'm sorry, our species into the reloading, into the Second Amendment community.
And more importantly, she's involved with legislation.
Absolutely.
So she's contacting her elected representatives and letting them know. So that's the biggest thing you can do.
And if you're struggling, Mike,
988 or 1-800-273-8255. Reach out, get some help. Mental health is important to take care of. If you don't take care of your mental health, it can affect your physical health. So they are trained. They know how to get you to the help that you need. So on that note, good night.
good night, all.
Good night.